Hello, everyone. It's Jay Pylon, and this is my review of Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, the new science fiction action film that's original but isn't at all original. In the title, I'm going to call it Soulless Cinema. Basically, we've seen every trope, every cliche, every beat for beat scene in this movie and other science fiction films of this genre. But this thing borrows heavily, if not steals. No, let's just call it a knockoff. It is a Star Wars knockoff. It is a Star Wars knockoff that follows familiar tropes that we've seen in these other science fiction films. I think that it doesn't borrow anything necessarily from books as much as it does movies. It's very much a pop culture, almost AI feeling generated, chat GPT created seemingly film, because it borrows so heavily or lifts so heavily from everything that's come before it. Seven Samurai, for instance. Basically, the premise of this movie is there's a space farm, a space girl. She's got, super skills at fighting because that's the trope and cliche from right now and in the 2020s. So she can whoop anybody that gets in her presence. And some bad guys from the Galactic Empire come along and want to steal the little farm's grain. So she heads out to find the seven space samurai to beat them off and get them out of there. It's got C-3PO is now Obi-Wan Kenobi in this movie. It's got the alien space bar scene. It's got space orcs because Lord of the Rings. It's got a guy that looks like he's John Carter of Mars. It's got a scene that looks like it's straight out of Avatar. It's got a lot of stuff from the Disney Star Wars in this thing. Believe it or not. Yeah, because when I was watching it, I was thinking that's really familiar with, and my wife noticed this too, really familiar with stuff from Rogue One, from the recent, some of the recent Star Wars things that we've seen. So it borrows heavily from that. The master and apprentice dynamic of the emperor and his apprentice. He even says, "Yes, my master," at the end of this thing. They have the duel on the Cloud City. It's not necessarily a Cloud City. I don't know where they are because it borrows so heavily from everything that we've seen before it. Visually, it's stunning. The pacing is great. The sound effects are great. It's interesting enough to keep you engaged in looking at it. But at the end of it, it's such a derivative piece of work from that just basically everything from sci-fi that we've already come to see. Whether it's Dune, it even at one point has a tentacle monster in it. Whether it's from Dune or Chronicles of Riddick or Star Wars, which it's mainly based around, Seven Samurai. It's just the tropes, the cliches. It's all there that we've seen in each one of these works. And I know that there's nothing new under the sun, but this thing is such a cobbled together mess that I didn't really feel anything for any of these characters in this film. If at the end of the film, then that all the characters, the heroes and the villains all, were to perish, I wouldn't bat an eye because it doesn't give you enough time to really familiarize yourself with whatever their situation is and really attach yourself to them or their dynamics or their supposed dynamics. So Rebel Moon, very interesting to watch though. Visually stunning. Leaves you with no feeling, emotional attachment at all. After you see it, there's just blankness. I'm not mad at it. Basically, the whole time you're watching it, you know where the story is going to go because you've already seen Star Wars, obviously, most likely, if you're a sci-fi fan like myself. You've already seen Dune, or you've already seen any of these other movies that this film borrows from, such as Avatar. So Rebel Moon is out. Check it out if you want to see something you've already seen in other films that have done it better. But other films have done it better and left you with an impact. I certainly feel something every time I watch an Akira Kurosawa film. But this Zack Snyder film just leaves you empty. All right, guys. Appreciate you for watching. Stay tuned. God bless. Stay safe. Jay Pylon out.